Hello and welcome back. Welcome back, my sister, my brothers. How are you doing today? So, today will not be the usual video on Bible teaching or Bible commentary. There are a couple of things that's been going on, and I've wanted to make commentary videos, but I just haven't had time. Thankfully, today, let me just go ahead and do it so that I can get that itch. Is it itching satisfied or just that thought out there? In our world today, when something happen, if you don't make a video about it within, I don't know, 1 hour, by the time you make the video the next day, your own is already late. So I don't know if this video is already late, but I still say let me make it. Somebody might benefit from what I'm about to say. So first thing first, let's just get into it. I want to talk about this new Amazon Prime Christian show called House of David. Let's put it up there. House of David. Yes. I happened to watch the series. Who is disturbing me now that I want to make my commentary video in peace? I'll just silent my phone. Sorry, yo. So, thanks to my husband, I was able to watch the series, especially the first episodes. I think we are now waiting for like second season. This is the first season. I was able to watch the whole season and I loved it. It was so good. And then the next thing I saw online was a lot of was it really criticism or commentary about how it doesn't stick to the Bible, it invented a lot of stuff. And I was just thinking, wow, why can't we all just get along? I would love for us to be kumbaya and get along, especially as Christians, but I know it's impossible. It's not going to happen, not on this side of eternity. We will strive. We will strive for unity and getting along and everything. But yeah. So this show, House of David, when I saw the trailer, I was like, wow, this production is up to part. This is not one of those church cheesy production or one of those Christian production. You're like, did this person use a bunch of his church member to film this? That is the biggest criticism that a Christian movie gets. But of course, shows like The Chosen has broke through, and Passion, different other ones, Passion of Christ, they have brought top quality production to the Christian movie production, and we are loving it. Somebody like me, I'm definitely loving it. Now back to House of David production quality. The moment I saw the trailer, I was like, wow, this money went into this. They say soup were sweet, na money killer. Soup were sweet, na money killer. My American mind is destroying my African proverbs. Anyway, so when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, definitely money went into this. I want to watch it. Me and my husband, we took our time and we watched it, and I was blown away by the production quality, by the acting skills, all the characters. I mean, my favorite character is actually a bad character. It's not a good guy. My favorite character is the wife of Saul. So far, I just love the way she's playing into the whole Jezebel kind of spirit, and just very I don't know if she's wicked or mean. I really love that character. And of course, my two favorite character are like the two bad people. No, there were other characters that were not so good. They were not the hero. But my two favorite character is the wife of Saul, King Saul, and the son of King Saul, the bad son. I don't know. I just love the way they played their evil role. All the other ones were brilliant. So yes, acting was on point, production quality was on point. Storyline, okay, storyline. I think this is where people had like different opinion, both good, bad, and the criticism coming. They what first thing first, before the production, before we even get anywhere into the movie, there was a disclaimer. There's a disclaimer on the screen that look, we took creative liberty to put these things together. Yes, we know the stories in the Bible, and all of us know the story from the beginning to the end, but this is a movie. This is a production. We're not trying to recreate the Bible exactly. We want to be creative with it. And so when I saw that message at the beginning, I already knew they were going to add salt and pepper and sugar and whatever just to make the story what it needs to be for entertainment wise. And now, you go on the internet and you hear people say, oh, they are inventing stuff. They didn't stick to the Bible. And someone like me, I was like, come on now. At the beginning, they already put right there their disclaimer. Hey, we are going to take creative liberty to make this thing happen. And that's okay for me because I am not watching it for Bible study. I'm watching it for Christian entertainment. I'm not going to go watch House of David or The Chosen because I'm trying to learn the Bible and learn about God and all that. They help in what way? They help that they spark your curiosity and say, oh, wait, oh, did this thing really happen? Let me go to the Bible and find out. And that is a plus. That is a plus. Anyway, so the criticism that they took a lot of creative license to inject certain things, and I don't want to say all of them because some of you may not have watched the series yet. But I didn't have any problem with that. I didn't have any problem with that. In fact, let me say this. There was one Bible, I don't know if they meant it as a movie. I don't know if they meant it as entertainment, but one time I was bored and I'm going to put the video there. I pull it up. It was a video production of the Gospel of John or something like that. And I started watching it, but I wanted to watch it as an entertainment. And I'm telling you that this production did the gospel word per word. I was so bored. I was like, why was I bored? Because I came for entertainment. If I wanted word per word as it was written in the Bible, I would just go and open my Bible. Or I would approach the video with a mindset that I'm about to study the Bible. But when I was watching that movie that day, I was like, oh, let me see what this movie is about. It's about, and everything was word per word. And I was like, so someone like me, honestly, I appreciate creative license as long as make it doesn't take away from the story. It adds to the story. We don't want the kind of Hollywood creative license that they will do and then they'll make Jesus into a homosexual. God forbid. Just blasphemy. Those are not the kind of creative license that we want, especially for me. When I say I love when they took their creative license. These production people, by God's grace, they are Christian and they are not there to deface God or inject demonic things into the story of the Bible. So thank God for that, because if it's Hollywood production, secular people produce, and they take that creative license, and you are watching something that is Bible, but then all of a sudden you're like, I don't know, what is these people intention? Why are they painting God like that? Why? And it just goes down south. So again, I want to say I love their creativity. It was good. There were some things that they wrote that I had to go back to the Bible and say, is this so? Okay, this was their creative license. Number two things that is it number two? I think I'm in number 3 or 4 or 5 things that I love about the show by now. The next thing that I appreciate about the show is that, or let me put it like this: shows like this, they are not meant to replace the Bible. If they don't have any intention to deface the Bible or deface God or have any kind of evil intention, and they are just bringing genuine Christian entertainment that we can watch, I want to inject this. Secular movies, when you are watching them, you don't know what's coming next. In this particular series, they portray the second son of Saul as someone that is very sensual, love women and all that. And why they are presenting that aspect and trying to build that aspect of his life, it doesn't make you cringy. I mean, so far, it doesn't make you cringy. But if it was Hollywood, By the time they depict that first scene, if you're watching it with your family, you'll be like, because it will become too sexual, too sensual, too cringy. And you're like, okay, can you just tell the story without basically spoiling it, without making us cringy? I mean, there's so many ways you can tell a story, and they did in this series to portray that this young man love women and everything without going Hollywood on us. I like that. I like that. We need that, especially as Christian. Violence, yes, there was a whole lot of violence in the series, and I didn't expect them to be that graphic. So the first few ones, my eyes were open like this, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is horrible." So after that first few battle scene, I was like, I can't keep my eyes open and be watching this thing. They are too graphic for me. Especially the scene where King Saul disobeyed God and he didn't kill King Agag. And so when Prophet Samuel came to confront Saul, afterward he now had to take out the hidden king that Saul spared. And because I remember the Bible, that it is not gonna be a good scene, I quickly closed my eyes and told my husband, let me know when that scene is over. And yes, oh my goodness, I didn't watch it. I mean, my ears were open, but I didn't watch it. So yeah, violence wise, it was definitely there. They didn't hide anything. And again, you want to criticize these people and like, how come he's so violent? How come, he's so graphic? But then you go to your Bible and the Bible didn't hide it. The Bible was very, very detailed and clear on how these people died. So I mean, on that note, you can't really criticize the director for portraying it as it was written. Anyway, so yeah, violence was there. Moving on, the message. The message was deep on pride and abandoning God. God give us a gift. God calls us. God crown us. God bless us. And then we become an idol to ourselves. And right now, that's what became of Saul, somebody that started very humble and all that. And all of a sudden, he became an idol to himself. And they portray that very, very well. And the lesson that we are to take from it as Christian was very, very clear. So I believe the writer did an excellent job in that area of portraying God as good, as kind, as benevolent, faithful, loving, patient, and giving us what we don't deserve. And then the gift he gives us become like a curse. We use it against him. Another thing I love that they portray is David life. One of the lessons I learned from it is that it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in the field, you can be in the city, you can be in the village, wherever you are, whatever it is that God has ordained for you, as long as you are in part, you are connected, you are basically with the Lord, you're not going to miss what God has for you. David was not part of the movers and shakers of the society, and yet when the time came, God fished him out and did what he wanted to do with David. Several wonderful things that the writers brought out. Right, as I round up on the House of David series, one of the most beautiful things that come out of these Christian shows is that it sparked curiosity. Some of the creative liberties that they take, it sparked curiosity in your mind to go back to the Bible and say, is it so? Before I started watching the series, I was studying the New Testament. I was not ready to go to the Old Testament yet. I was just focusing a lot of my studies on the New Testament. But after watching the series, my curiosity was sparked. The things that were portrayed, is it so? And so, because of the series, I quickly went back to my Bible and I started reading the story of Samuel and King Saul and David just to refresh my memory. And I believe that if this is what these Christian productions are able to do in the lives of the viewer, especially for us Christians, then bravos. Bravos. I think is wonderful. And I can only imagine what it does in the life of unbelievers that may not open their Bible, but they run into this series and they watch it, and all of a sudden they're like, really? I didn't know these things are in the Bible. Let me go get a Bible and read. And while reading the Bible, who knows what God will do? They may have their encounter and they come to faith. So I feel like instead of us being divided, oh, they didn't do this, they didn't stick to the story, it's too graphic, it's too this, it's too that. Let's just encourage our Christian production people to keep the good production coming. Thank God that we are not doing moms and pops productions anymore. You know, the chosen and passion of Christ, they have really, really raised the standard. And we are having some excellent production quality. So let's keep encouraging them and let's not be divided. Thank God these are real Christians that are behind the scene as producers and all that. We keep encouraging them because through their production, it sparked our curiosity to go back to this story and remind ourselves of the goodness of God and learn from these things. And then the unbelievers that may never, ever, ever open their Bible, but they can mistakenly watch the show and their journey of salvation will just start from there. So I'm just hoping that we can get along. Can't we all get along? Can't we all just, you know, praise the people that are just out there working so hard and not letting the secular world just be pouring out secular things. Thank God for people like the chosen production Dallas and this new person that produced House of David and more to come. Thank God for their lives and what they are doing, and I pray that more and more excellent productions will come for us Christians to enjoy and for the world to actually see and be converted. Amen. All right. Let's go to the next topic that I want to talk about.
An all-female Blue Origin space crew with celebrities in
all the American vloggers, YouTubers, everybody, they have commented. I'm sure I'm the last of the last. I want to just share my little opinion on the space exploration by the celebrities. Let's put their pictures up. Let's put their picture up. Oh, ha. Yes. So this space exploration, to my surprise, after they went to space, I don't think I tuned in live. I think it was the next day or so that I watched it. Anyway, whole bunch of noise, whole bunch of press. These women went to space. I watched it. I enjoyed it. But then the next day, all of a sudden, there was negative news everywhere, and all these big platform, they were literally just bashing and insulting them. And I was confused because when I was watching the actual exploration and all that they did, I was smiling, I was excited for them. So I didn't expect the negative outcome of all these people bashing them. And I have not watched a lot of those stories or why they were bashing them. I kind of heard some things here and there why, but I've not really give myself fully to why all of a sudden the whole press, especially the American press, why they turned against these women. And I wanted to have an unbiased opinion and my own genuine feeling toward these women going on in space, on space, in space. Okay. So personally, I don't have anything against them. I don't really know them that much. I don't listen to Katy Perry music. I see the anchor, the one that is friends with Oprah. I do see how it's a CBS morning show. Anyway, I don't have any personal thing against them. But I tuned in because I wanted to see what it was like. I've been hearing about people going into space like we travel the world. And I've been hearing about it for years that, hey, this is going to be possible. This is going to be possible. And for some reason, this one captured my attention, maybe because of the so many press they were getting. So I tuned in and I watched it and I was like, oh, that is so nice. And in my perspective, this is what I thought. I was like, okay, when the airplane was invented, I believe it was only rich people, probably only rich people that can afford to fly. When probably the sailing boats were invented, I can imagine that it was only very, very wealthy people that could sail. And so now here is opportunity to go out in space and see our earth and see our world. So very wealthy people will be the frontliner. Amazon, Jeff Bezos, his soon to be wife, and all these highly able people. So I didn't think negative of them. I was like, wow, praise God. One day, me myself, I go join and go see the earth. But usually it's the wealthy, those who have money to be able to start this kind of tourism. They are the one that will actually throw money at these inventions and perfect it, and over the years eventually to trickle down to the rest of us. And then we will also go out there and see. Just like today, we can fly business class, we can go around the world, we can take the cruise and the boat and all that. But I just see it that all these things, they usually start first with the very wealthy. Somebody discovers it, introduce it to the very wealthy, they throw a whole bunch of money in it, and then over the years they perfect it and make it affordable for the rest of us. That was my genuine feelings toward these women going into space. I saw it as, hey, they are paving the way for the rest of us to eventually experience and see what the earth look like, when we are outside of the earth. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So after this thing, all of a sudden, bad news, bad news. The vloggers and the reporters and everybody, they just started attacking them. Oh, they thought they have done something great. They are nothing but show off and models, and they are just throwing their money and wasting money. And I think there were conspiracy theories even entered the equation. They say they didn't go to any space. So this our conspiracy theory people, they know the rest. they they say, look at the spaceship that brought the man and the woman that got stuck up there. Look at their spaceship. Look at how there's dent. Look at this one own. There's no script. There's no. So conspiracy people enter and started insulting them. Then all these high platform, they also enter secular platform. They started insulting them. And I was like, come on, this is so ridiculous. I don't know why so much hatred. At the point I say, is it jealousy? Is it jealousy? Don't worry, don't be jealous. One day you too, you will go. Let them go and have their initial view. Eventually go trickle down to the rest of us. So till today, I don't understand. The only thing that I can probably understand from all the anger and hatred being thrown at them w- was when I was watching the experience. Yeah, when they came from space, and an overzealous reporter was talking to one of them, and it was the reporter that I clearly heard saying, "You are now an astronaut."
And here you are, just having landed back on Earth, and now you are officially Lauren Sanchez. Already adding to your extensive resume, you are an astronaut. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I didn't hear any of the women say, "Oh, I am now an astronaut." Yes, we know they are not astronauts. They didn't fly the thing. They just went to see and came back. Praise the Lord. But I overheard one of the really excited, overzealous reporters and say, "Oh, since you've gone to space, you're now an astronaut. Yeah, we'll call you an astronaut." That was one of the issues that the secular media say, "Who be astronaut?" So you people are not serious. These people are not serious at all. You took a ride for your to go view the earth, came back. Which part of this did you become an astronaut? You didn't even drive. So that was I think that's the only aspect that I was like, no, they are not astronauts. But thank God that they had the opportunity to experience what they experienced, but they are not astronauts, they are not even drivers. They're not- they- There's no title. Just say I went to space and I saw the earth from space. Hallelujah. That's what you are. That's your title. I've seen the earth uh, from space. Anyway, the negativity was just too much. I was like, come on now, come on. This is too much hatred. This is too much anger. Why are they so angry at these people? I don't know. If you understand, please put it in the comments. Me, I don't understand. It was just too much. I genuinely think that people should just see it as way makers. They do this thing and then they pave the way for it to trickle down eventually to the rest of us normal folks that cannot afford millions and millions of dollars to go see outside of space. But the more these people go and do their exploration, hopefully without harming the earth and all that, they will continue to invent and perfect the system so that eventually it will trickle down to the rest of us being able to actually go and experience it too. Because it will happen. It happened with airplane. It happened with the whole cruise and ship and all that. It started with the very, very wealthy. They were the first one to afford it. Eventually, it came down to the rest of the normal people. That's how I see it. And that's why I didn't understand the hatred and the backlash and all the craziness that followed. Yes, well, let me know if you understand. I'll read your comment to understand why the people were so angry and so full of hatred and really, really criticize the women. I'd love to hear from you. So put it in the comment. Final. What is the final thing? Is that the final thing? Let me see my list. The last thing I want to comment about happenings in our world. So this one happened to be the drama that took place on TikTok.
This is why the list bag from our factory only costs you 1,000 USD.
I'm so confused because 𝗲𝗲 clearly purports that all of their bags are handmade in France.
America had increased the tariff in different countries, not just China alone, but different countries. But obviously, China increase was a lot. And I don't know, maybe China want to pay back whatever the situation is. They started leaking, according to them, designer wears, designer purse and all that, and they came on TikTok and they are like, oh, this was made in this factory, this was made in that factory, and so on and so forth. And everybody got so excited, and people were saying, well, forget these stores, don't shop there anymore, you can just go directly to these vendors and buy stuff. Now, personally, I don't care for designer things. I am not into them. Not anymore. And I will definitely don't want to waste my money buying a purse for $30,000 when I could build a house, open business for somebody. There's just too many important things to do with money than to go and buy a purse. I'm not competing with anybody. I'm not living a prideful lifestyle. And even if I do have that kind of money to afford those kind of things, the way God has brought me emotionally, mentally, in everything, I just know that no, it's a waste. I wouldn't want to do that or make that kind of decision. But if you're somebody that makes those kind of decision, good for you. But I do want to say that qualities matter. Quality matters. Sometimes we buy things from this Chinese website. Let me not just say Chinese. There are other websites that may not be Chinese, but you buy things from them and they come and you touch them and it feels like nylon. Sometimes you look at what you bought and you look at what you bought from their website and then what came and you're like, how did this become this? Like, what happened? So So it's in that sense that I'm saying, please, so don't go and be rushing to 𝗕𝗱𝗄𝒃 and all this website and say, oh, I'm going to buy something for $3.99. Because when that thing come, you may not like it. and quality does matter, By the time you wash an outfit once or twice, when the color follow the washing machine, you'll be like, what a waste of my time. So me personally, I want to buy clothes that feels like clothes. I don't want to wear things that when I wear them, I'm like, it feels so rough on my skin. It feel like I'm wearing a nylon bag. I don't understand. I don't want that. I want to buy clothes that feels like clothes. Therefore, I say slow down. Quality does matter. A lot of people want to rush to these vendors and say, oh, they are selling it cheaper, they are selling it cheaper. By the time they send you something where it feel like a paper bag, you're not going to be happy. So ensure that whatever the vendor you want to go with. I remember a time I even ordered something online. It never came. They ate my money. There was no customer service. Absolutely nothing. My money was gone. And it was not cheap. So when people are so excited and say, oh, now we have all these vendors' phone number, you can order directly, you can do this, you can do that, it's cheap, slow down. Quality matters. Can you trust the vendors? Would this thing you're about to order, will it come to you? I definitely discourage people from going to all these designer and buying ridiculous things that are just not worth it. The kind of price they're adding to things is just for the name. I'm definitely not for that. But I also know that quality does matter. It does matter. We can see it. When you buy cheap outfit, you can see that it's transparent. Your bra, your inner, all those things will be showing. And you go to a real store and you buy an outfit and you can feel it. You can feel the solidness of an outfit. So yeah, when the whole craziness came out, I went to TikTok and I kind of watched it and I was like, I wonder if I can hook up with one vendor like that and order something cheap. And then I was reminded of my past experience with ordering things from China online. And I said, I beg, I no fit. Let me just stick to what I know. Uh, Naturally, I don't shop a designer outfit. I don't want to wear anybody name. I'm not trying to buy social status. I'm not trying to tell anybody that I'm rich or I'm poor, I'm whatever. I just want to wear something that is affordable, um, that is cute. And so, in fact, I think I'm gonna be honest, because now my brand is for Jesus. I represent Jesus, and so I don't want anything else. I don't want people to see me and say, "Oh, that's that girl that wear designer outfit." No, I don't want people to see me and say, "Oh, that's that girl that is always carrying what's the name of this designer? Wait, make I look it up on Google. Designer bags. Famous designer brand 2025. Hey, they call it Hermes, Birkins. Is it Birkins? Hermes, Birkins. Can't even say the name right. Okay. Hermes, Birkins, and so on and so forth. I will not be spending no $30,000. 90,000. These people no serious. Who bond them? So if you're into them, do your thing. I'm not into them, but at the same time, I do think quality matters, and I'm not gonna be part of those that say, "Oh yeah, let me rush and go buy a $3 outfit because China is selling things for $3." I have bought some cheap stuff that came from China and they were not wearable, and I regretted wasting my time. So that's my little opinion concerning all that rush about buy directly from the warehouse in China. If you find a good warehouse that can make you quality stuff at a lower rate but quality, excellent, wonderful. That's it. Those are the commentaries I wanted to make, even though I am late. But please drop your comment. Let me know what you think about all these stories. House of David, women that went for space tour, and buying cheaper items from China factories that are exposing the whole designer brands. Let me know. I would like to know if you find any factory that you bought something that looks so good, quality and great price. Put it in the comments. Maybe we too will follow through and order and hope that we don't get paper bags or nylon bag clothing. All right, that's it too. I'm just so glad to be able to share my opinions on these happenings. And every once in a while, I like to make videos like this. I want to be more focused on Bible teachings and commentary, salvation testimony, and all that. But there are sometimes things happen in the world, and I just want to just add my opinion here and there. Just to share with you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next Bible teaching or Bible commentary or salvation testimony. Bye.